Now be careful with this one. Who's your favorite villain? No, come on, be honest, be honest. Tell us about it.
I mean, I think the villain, we've talked a bit about this before, the villains on our show are just terrific. I mean, both as characters, the people who played them, they're just such fun to write. They have very distinctive voices. I mean, we get people like Tim Matheson and Vance to play them, so they make our dialogue sing even more than we thought that it would. What I don't think people know about how villains are often conceived is that we role play a fair amount in the room, and I don't know
which room is this you role play in? Clarify.
The writer's room. And Matt is a master of voices and accents, and oftentimes starts off the way that he kind of sees the character. And Gilroy, for example, was conceived by Matt kind of taking on this British accent, which I think he should demonstrate.
You're putting me on the spot.
It was upper crust.
Well, actually, that's. Did you know the old joke? You know, we wanted to do sort of this hard-ass, sort of fey villain. And there's really only one guy who can play that. No, I was reminded of the old joke, how do you tell if an English guy is gay? Well, you can't really, can you, darling? So, I mean, actually, the fun thing about it is that a lot of times we'll be in the room and we'll just do, we'll be conceiving a scene, and you know, we'll have to say like, okay, can this character get this character to do X, Y, and Z in 30 seconds? And then it'll just be sort of like, you know, I'll say, okay, make me do it. You know, I'll be Michael, you be the other guy, make me do it. You got 30 seconds. And then we sort of transcribe it, or I'll do the villain, and the other person does Michael. But say, just do it. And then if we can act out the scene in the room, then we can write it. And we do that a lot. So.
Well, it pays off, guys, because honestly, you write the best villains on television, there's no doubt about it. Bruce, do you share Sam Max's love for classic cars? Or not?
I'm from Detroit. No. My brother fixed 57 Chevys in the driveway of our house for years. Tried to kill me once because the 57 Chevys have a big fin on the back.
Sure.
And my mom would pull up to the bottom of the driveway, and my brother and I would get on the fins of the driveway and ride the fins up the street. My brother got in the car and put it in neutral, and I was riding backwards on the fin, and at the back there was a tree coming. But that might not be a good situation. I've never gone in an old car since. No. You can't help but love old cars, even though they're impossible to maintain and they suck to drive and have no power steering or power brakes or power anything. Getting in those cars that we had, Sam has had a couple of old cars on the show. I instantly go back to when I'm 6 years old, going, wow, I haven't seen that dial since I was 6, you know. So, but they suck to drive and maintain, and they're not worth it.
For the benefit of our audience, I actually did not even think when we conceived of the Charger on the show that it was, we were putting a jet black car, no air conditioning, in Miami.
In a parking lot.
In a parking lot in August.
Yes.
So yeah, what's it like riding around that Charger, huh?
It's a little different now. Mr. Jeffrey Donovan, the star of our show. Very nice fella, very sexy man. Sexy man. Back to the Charger. Jeffrey Donovan does not sweat. I projectile sweat. We've developed, lots of things under the shirts so that we don't have to go through 4 shirts every take. I sweat a little less now for various reasons, but Jeffrey Donovan, I finally watched him sweat. It was last season, it was in August, and we were in that car, and he looked at me and went, "I'm sweating." I went, ha ha ha. The next day, there was an AC unit installed that could cool an aircraft carrier. So it's not as bad as it seems now that Jeffrey Donovan's been sweating.
Sexy man, Tim, Larry's fascination with Michael, while we're on the subject of villains, where does that come from? Is that from you or somewhere else?
Well, Dead Larry is one of my favorites. Not really dead, but he mentored Michael and taught him everything he knows. Taught him how to be sexy. Sam stole a little bit of that. So no, it was a great character and so much fun. But you know what? Very little conscious thought went into it. I just sort of went with my gut because I was directing that episode as well as acting in it, and the ability to have Bruce and Jeffrey there after a take, they would look at me, and if it was good, they just go, yep, moving on, great. And if it wasn't good, they'd turn away and not talk to me. Jeffrey would say, I think we had an airplane on that one, let's do it again.
Another one for you, man. She's not here, she's a lovely woman. But Sharon Glass.
Referring to the Emmy-nominated Sharon Glass.
Where did the chain smoking come from? Was that your idea? Was it her idea? Was it in the original script? What happened with that?
It was actually in the script. My grandmother was a big smoker, and it just sort of popped into it's sort of like, kind of loosely based on my grandmother smoking. And then, this is a true story, Sharon's told this in other contexts, but her husband, Barney, read the script first. And he said, "Oh honey, you're gonna want to do this one. You're gonna like this one." She said, "Why, is it good?" He said, "No, you get to smoke the whole time."